Tony, are you in?
Yes, I'm in.
Okay, very good. Can you guys hear Tony? Hello. Good.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Good job. Oh, it's so clear. Fantastic. Nice.
All right. Okay, so I guess I can explain the DX to those that have a lot of questions.
Let's do it this way. Tony, sorry if I interrupted. Let's do it this way. Hold on. Let me put this up. All right. So here it is. This is Tony's strategy. So let's go over number one. Okay, DX and pairs are correlating. What exactly do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that is that everybody has to understand that the DX controls everything. That is the dollar. So each of those pairs that have a dollar, for instance, the euro, the pound, and the USJPY, they're going to correlate with that. However, with each session, you want to make sure at the very beginning of the session that the market is correlating. Because there were times, for example, a couple of weeks ago where the pound was kind of off. It wasn't correlating as much because of news, because of certain things that are keeping it from correlating as much. You want to make sure everything is correlating. Most of the time it will correlate.
So the way you would know, guys, basically, the way you would know, you see what just happened here? Euro USD, pound USD, they correlated.
Yeah.
Two reds. Now it's trying to go up. It's correlating. Here, when you're looking at the dollar or the USD JPY, you see? Beautiful. That's how you know. Just in case you don't know, how do you look, what do you mean by correlating? Well, this is it. So you're looking at this, and if they're like moving in the same way, they're moving in the same way, then you know that everything is correlating. Does that make any sense, Tony? Did I explain that right?
That's why it's still very important to look at the 1 minute charts to see how they're correlating. Because there will be times, even I've noticed that even times during our sessions where it's usually always the pound. It'll go a little crazy, and then it'll go the opposite way. So you got to keep an eye on those. It's not like those charts there. Those 1 minute charts are still very important. You got to keep an eye on those to see exactly where the market is moving, if it's going to hit a resistance line, for instance. So it's not like you can take the strategy and just look at the DX and say, well, I'm just going to take a signal on the DX and that's it, and I'm going to be lazy and not look at the market and look at exactly where each of the pairs, whether it's hitting a resistance line, the moving average, if it's crossing the moving averages, all that stuff. However, it's still going to correlate with the DX, but how strong is that signal is going to be dependent on you still paying attention to the 1 minute charts and also the 5 minute charts that you have on there on each pair.
That makes so much sense, Tony, because you're totally right. A couple of weeks ago, the euro was going up, the pound was going down, or vice versa. The pound was, and I kept on mentioning it. So, guys, this is not making any sense. All right. So whenever I do speak of it's not making any sense, guys, it seems like this is really off, then you know, meaning those are the days that maybe Tony should be taken off the table. You say, okay, correlation seems like is not as effective, so let's be a little more weary or a little more careful on the system. Very good. Okay,
for those that are new, for those that aren't as experienced with the market, that's why it's also good for them to listen to you and not put you on mute, because Franco will understand and make you aware that, hey, this doesn't look very good. This is looking really weird. So it'll give you a heads up to pay attention to that if you can't really see it for the charts for yourself. So.
Interesting. Very good. All right, guys. Any questions on that as far as correlation is concerned? Any questions on correlation? You guys get correlation? Moving the same way? Euro USD moving the opposite of DX, and the
Peter,
USD
what is it that you don't
moving.
understand?
Make it clear, Peter. If there's nothing, if there's something you don't understand, please. Oh, very good,
Oh,
Peter.
okay.
Good job. Yeah, Peter. Coming from you, I go, how come? All right, very good. So step 2. Here comes step 2. Watch DX charts for trend and blue plus a pink reversal.
Okay.
All right? Can you? Yeah. Let's go over that.
Well, obviously it depends on how the DX is moving. Once again, when you come into a session, you have to notice. For instance, I'll take the example of today. If you notice the trend for the DX today, it was pretty strong. The reversals were very short-lived, and it maintained the trend. So the trend is the most powerful, obviously. However, you did have a few reversals, and the super yellow pinks are very, very strong with that reversal, but they were short-lived. They're not a complete reversal. It's not going in another direction. It's just very like little pops. So you want to be able to recognize whether the DX for the day is going to kind of maintain a trend, or it looks like it may actually even go up and do a full reversal. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that that you pay attention to if you're going to do a reversal, you want to make sure that you're going to have a signal not just on the reversal on the 15 minutes, but on the 5 minutes. Because then that's pretty risky if you don't have a signal on the 5-minute DX as well. I did take a trade on the reversal today because it was a super yellow without the 5-minute trend, but that was only for 5 minutes. And after I noticed that, I didn't go 10 minutes or 15 minutes because once again it was that first super yellow. It just went right back down again after that for the next 15 minutes. So if I would have taken that for 10 minutes or 15 minutes without a signal on the 5-minute DX as well, I would have lost that trade.
Are you sure? You're speaking. Are you sure? Meaning you're speaking of this one, I think, right?
The other, yes, sir. Well, no, the other one, the next one.
Oh, the other one,
that
okay.
one.
And you're totally right.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
I only took that for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I kept it
Makes
short.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the trends, however, when you see a
trend... So in other words, maybe, Tony, again, sorry for interrupting, okay?
No.
So you're saying if you're going against the trend, guys, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're going against the trend, 5 minutes should be your longest. It's, unless you really have extreme confirmation, maybe from all pairs, giving you an incredible signal as a reversal. But at least start with a 5 minute. And if you see the 5 minute is winning, maybe then put in another 5 minutes or something, and never put in a 15-minute or a 10-minute trade. Keep on doing 5 minutes if a true reversal is in play. If not, just 1 5-minute will do. All right? Yep. So if I understand Tony correctly, guys, this is what he does. He looks for trends. This is where he goes 5, 10, 15 minutes on all 3 pairs. If he sees, if anything interesting on the reversal, he'll just take a 1 5-minute trade.
Yep.
Okay? And if he sees maybe that it's still looking good, maybe he'll do it again. But I think he sticks to 5-minute trades on reversals. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony.
Yes, that's correct. Unless I know it's a full-blown trend. Like, for instance, right now, it looked like it could be, but more than likely, that's why you got to look at the 1 minutes as well. You can look at that 1 minute chart right there, and you see blues, and that's going to probably resume its trend right there, because it looks like it's still it's hitting that resistance line. See, it's going down now.
That's right.
So it's probably not good. It's not a full-blown reversal quite yet. So those are very tricky, especially on today's. Look at how it's trending. So it's very doubtful that's going to pop up any further. So especially on days like today, especially on Mondays. Mondays are very kind of grindy, kind of trendy. You want to stick with the trend if you're going to do multiple trades long term. I prefer long term. I will do the 5-minute trades on the reversals unless I can see that today is a very up and down day. However, today was an up and down day. that last trend, if you look at that right there, MT, that last trend signal on the DX 15 minutes going down, pinky, you can circle that one. That right there, that's one I got 9 and 0 on. I took that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes on EU, GU, and UJ.
Nice.
And I took all of those on that signal. However, I think it was Allie, she had mentioned that it didn't pop up right away. What I do is I make sure that that pops up within the first 5 minutes. If it doesn't pop up in the first 5 minutes, it's weaker. If it pops up after 5 minutes, I might take it just for 5 minutes and that's it. I won't go long term with it. But if it pops up right away.
On the 15-minute chart, if it right away,
yeah.
You know what you're saying? If it shows up as soon as right we hit, yeah, that's a longer term.
That's a strong one. On the trend like that, if it pops up right away, then I'll take it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. All 3 pairs. That's 9 trades that I take right there. If it pops up within the 5 minutes, like after a minute or two, it's still pretty strong.
5-minute trade.
Yeah, and I'll still. It depends. If it looks that one right there, it popped up after about 2 or 3 minutes, and I still took it because I trusted the trend. I looked at the other 2 trending pinks, and I said, you know what, it's probably still going to do that. That was still a little risky because that resistance line was on the bottom there. I didn't know how far that was going to go. I trusted that it was going to do that for 15 minutes, hit that resistance line, and obviously if you see the next candle after that, it obviously went back up. So I was able to get that. That's a little risky. However, I did take it because it was within the first 5 minutes of the 15-minute candle. But if it's after the 5 minutes, you want to be careful. Take it only 5 or maybe 10 minutes max. Don't go 15 minutes. I like 15 minutes because that's the length of the candle. Some of these candles on here, when it pops up a pink, it won't move, or it'll even go in the opposite direction the first 10 minutes, and then that last 5 minutes it'll just shoot down or go in that direction that you want. So you want to be careful. That's why I like the 15 minutes. But if it doesn't pop up within the first 5 minutes, I won't consider any 15-minute trades.
Okay, guys, any questions on that? Any questions? What is the pop-up? What were you referring to as the pop-up? What pop-up means? As soon as you're expecting the signal to come out, Ray. Okay, at 11:15. Okay, you know, right here. Oh, I don't know. Something is wrong. You know that at 11:15 you'll get a new pop-up. You will get a new candle. Okay, new candle or pop-up is the same thing. Is that it, Tony?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Also with that trend trade, I don't really need a 5-minute signal on the DX once I see that trend pinky going down like that. If it's going with the trend, it's pretty powerful. You don't need a confirmation signal. But if you want to play it super safe, then wait for it and then take it because that is very, very powerful.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's what I love. Okay, I love power. Thank you so much, Tony, for what you're doing.
Okay.
So you guys,
good luck to everybody.
It's not over. Tony, it's not over. We still have, 2 more to go here. So you guys understand trending, all right? You understand what trending is, and you understand reversals, right? So we can go on to the next one. Now, look at this, all right? Here it is. Okay, when 15 minutes is in, watch for 5-minute charts for the same signals, all right? So I know he went over this already, but let's make sure everyone understands. So go right ahead, Tony. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is the 5-minute
example
signal.
Yeah, give me an example give me an example here from what happened earlier. Maybe we could take this as an example, be 8:45 or whatever, just so that they see it, correlating with the 5-minute chart. So you would look at this, right? 9:45.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So that's it. Now watch for 5-minute charts for the same signal. So if you have a down signal at 8:45, you're looking for an up signal both on the Euro USD, Pound USD 5 minutes, or an up signal on the USD JPY. So for just purpose of illustration here, let's see what did happen at 8:45. So we go back into the charts at 8:45. This is 8:45. All right. So 8:45, you had your signal down. You're looking for a signal up. This gave it away, Tony? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that this is what you're looking for?
Yes.
So down.
There's also another thing with that is I can see that if I saw that signal there, that 15-minute DX on the trend pinky, and I saw that pinky going up on the USD on the 5-minute, I would take that. However, if I want to do all three pairs and I see a signal on the DX correlate, another pinky going down on the DX as well, on the 5-minute DX, that tells me that all three of these pairs are going to correlate. So I will take it based on that as well. So the DX 5-minute as well as the pairs DX.
Let me see if we have this in action. At 8:45, so this is a down. 8:45 is right here. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Look at those pinkies going down.
Boom. Okay, this is 8:45. So down, down, up. Now look at this. Let me see if also GU had the same signal.
It did.
8:45. Oh my God! Not only pink, but a super blue. This is lemma, by the way. Haha, we were looking for lemma, and there's lemma. Okay, so here we go. All right. So here it is, and one last one. 8:45 UJ. 8:45 UJ. Let's see what happened
going
there.
Down.
Okay, 8:45 UJ had no signal.
No,
but
it's
that's
still
strange here.
Let's see.
It's still. No, sorry. It happened at 8:50.
Yeah, it was delayed. Succeeded. So it still succeeded, but it was delayed. However, I'd still think that it's a little risky for that. It wasn't correlating as much. Well, but it's still one. That's still one.
It's still one. But again, it's not part of your strategy because 8:45 you had no pink. So if you're going to follow Tony to the T, you had no trade here. There wasn't a trade on the UJ because this is the candle 8:45. So you had two trades that would have won like a superstar. And how we use the blue signal. Okay. Blue signals are on 15 minutes, Hugo. Okay? Just 15 minutes. Blue plus a pink for reversals. That's when he considers maybe going against the trend. Is that it, Hugo? Is that the question?
Yeah. That's the only time I go against the trend is when I see
a blue plus a pink is when he considers against the trend. Well, what do you mean, how do you consider it? It's against the trend. So he's going against the trend. Maybe we're not getting the question, or maybe you understand the question more, Tony.
Let's see. So you don't go in on the blue?
No,
not on the blue.
Guys,
you go. The blue is just a precursor to what might happen. That's
right,
not
Tony didn't reinvent anything. How many times did I repeat that the blue is not enough? Blue needs help. Blue needs help. Because you should see. Go ahead.
MT has been making this since day one. that the dollar, excuse me, that the dollar is the almighty. And I don't trade when the dollar is acting up, when the dollar is full-blown, and I don't trade during news. The dollar is what controls everything, and I didn't reinvent anything because this is what MT has been saying forever, is pay attention to the DX. So that's what you got to pay attention to, and because it controls everything, it's going to dictate those pairs. So you can still get signals on the pairs, but if it doesn't, if the DX is telling you something else, the DX overrides whatever the other pairs are saying. It's almost like the DX is the parent. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to the DX. Before, I used to never pay attention to the DX, and I'd get burned because what I wanted to do was just try to catch up and watch all the pairs all at once, and what I would end up doing was I'd be chasing too much. And that's another thing you don't want to do is you want to make sure that you have good confirmation. But if you're chasing and you're trying to follow each pair and try to chase the signal, you're going to lose. So you don't chase because you're going to get in late. And you can say, oh, my God, look at that pink right there. It's going all the way up, but you caught it. And you caught it as the candle was already full, and you're going to lose. So you want to look at the DX, and with the DX, the signal, once you get the signal on the DX, you can take those trades with all those correlating pairs, and it's not being lazy. It's just that you don't have to follow every single pair to a T. You start off with the DX, and you know that, hey, this right here is where it's going to start from. So if this one is telling me that it's going up, those other ones are going to follow it in the correlating fashion that it does. So it gives you time to set up your trades.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. So, step number 4, I think you went over it. All right, so when you see this, when the 15 minutes is in, watch for 5-minute charts for the same signals. As soon as you see it, you take 5, 10, 15 minutes trades on the EU, GU, and UJ. So I guess he doesn't have to explain that. As soon as you see it, you take it. If everything looks good, guys, okay, not in the middle of a F1C, maybe kind of a week. You have to take in consideration what's going on with news, what's going on with the DX momentum. Okay, this is not robot trading, guys. Okay, robot trading will always kind of give you a hard time at the end. You need to use your brain, okay? It's like when things, like he says, he starts off with correlation. If it's not correlating, then nothing makes sense anymore. Like he just maybe walks away and says, you know what, this is a crazy market, I'm not going to do it. All right, so 1 + 1, guys, I've always said and repeated a million times, does not equal 2 all the time in the markets. Okay, so I think that was great. That was phenomenal, Tony.
Yeah, I think
any last words, Tony?
I think Lemma asked a very good question. She says, do I wait for a 5-minute signal to stay solid for a minute or two? And I do. I do wait for a good between 30 seconds to a minute to make sure that signal stays solid. Because, it'll blink and it'll go away. But if the signal stays solid on the DX for a good 30 seconds to a minute, probably a minute is safer. And then I see that correlating the confirmation signal on the 5 minutes, and it stays solid, then I'll go ahead and take that. But you want to make sure that that signal also is solid. If it just goes away, it's less powerful. So you want to be careful with those.
Fantastic. Tony, thank you. Thank you really from the bottom of the heart here for, I speak for everyone here in the room. Thank you so much, Tony. Maybe, we'll bring up Tony again in a few weeks, in a month. Okay, again, guys, Tony is here to make money. He's not here to do customer service. If you want to keep him, all right, please respect Tony's trading times. All right, thank you so much, Tony, and may the angels be with you, bro. Okay,
you're the best. You're the best.
All right, man.
You're the diamond. Everybody, he is the diamond in the desert. If you guys have been here long enough, you know what that means.
Wow, wow. All right, Tony. All right, guys. That's it.
Okay. Thank you,
guys. Thank you so much, Tony. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Guys, I'm done. Okay.